What's up, what's up, what's up, everybody? That time of the day, that time of the week, that time of the month, that time of the year.
Whatever it is.
We're bringing it all.
Yes, sir.
How you doing, Jeffrey? You're listening to The Good,
The Band.
The Ugly, I'm Big Papa.
I'm Jeff.
Just Jeff.
Just Jeff. We're glad to be back.
We are glad. Let's slide that music out.
Yeah, a little bit.
Been a while.
Yeah,
We took a little hiatus ourselves.
a little bit. That's okay.
That's all right. Took our long weekend.
I'm excited.
That was
Football season is upon us.
Yeah.
I'm ready.
Sweaty football people.
Nah.
I'm talking about the fans.
Okay.
We have got a great show for you today. We have probably one of the coolest violin players that just rocks it out.
Yeah.
And she's going to be here in Syracuse soon.
Yes.
So without even dilly-dallying or any dumb jokes,
No.
let's just bring Nina in with us. And Nina DiGregorio is with us from the Femmes of Rock.
There she is.
She is. Look at that.
Hi, everybody.
Look at that. She has her Giants shirt on.
What?
Oh,
What?
sorry. Is that a hamster? What is that?
Mafia all the way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mafia behind us.
Well, yeah, for you.
That's family photo.
Bill's Mafia is what
Yeah,
she's
yeah.
referring to.
So, Nina,
Well, Bills or other. You've heard my last name, so.
Yeah.
there you go.
Yep.
Yeah, see?
Bill's or other.
Regular Mafia.
Mm-hmm.
See? Diulio DiGregorio.
It's all good.
Begins with a D, ends in an O. Could end in trouble for you, Mr. Mitigan.
Yeah, well.
Yeah. He's the mayonnaise face.
Yeah, but I work for people that end in a vowel.
This is true. He works for a concrete company, so at one time or another, all of our relatives have done business with
Yes.
them. Yeah.
There you go. So where is Jimmy Hoffa?
Well,
He's not in Buffalo.
he's not in Buffalo. That I can tell you. I think he's still in the old Giant Stadium, but that's my opinion.
Could be.
Wow. So, Nina, we are so excited to have you on. I mean, you've hosted our friend Mr. Jeff Tatora as your drummer, and Jeff has been a guest of the show and friends of ours for a long time. And when he introduced me to your music, I was like, "This is freaking awesome."
Yeah.
But then finding out you're from Buffalo is even cooler.
Yeah.
Like, we can't hold that against you.
Well, I thought that everyone in Syracuse were Buffalo fans. I mean,
No.
isn't it Mafia country there?
Not really.
No, that's Utica.
That's, yeah. I think
Wait,
it's more,
Utica's different?
I think it's more like Rochester,
No, no.
honestly.
We're going to get way off topic if we go down this ugly road.
Aren't we, though?
So we are thrilled to have you on, as I mentioned. I had the luxury of coming out to see you guys in Canandaigua, and it was just a great show. Can't wait. Just right out of the bat, you're going to be at Sharky's here in Liverpool on the 22nd.
That's right.
And I know Jeff had said to me that there's a lot more lighting and stuff that could have happened that didn't in Canandaigua, and he thinks it's going to happen here at Sharky's. It's a great venue. They're a sponsor of ours.
Yep.
You've got great guys doing sound over there and lights and everything. So it's a big stage in a big room. So outdoors, but
It'll be a fun show.
Yeah.
For sure.
yeah. And then he's got local Irv Lyons is opening up for you.
Yes.
And Irv is, he's a master of a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
Between blues and jazz and rock and everything. So he's he draws a little nice little crowd with him as well. So
I'm excited to hear him perform.
Yeah, I am too. I mean, we've seen him around, but
Yeah.
in that venue, I don't think I've seen him there. Actually, didn't he open up? He opened up he was with Ben Morrow one time when Ben played, I believe.
Yes.
Yeah. So, and Ben's another. He's going to be visiting Syracuse soon from Las Vegas. Ben's the guitar player with Cher, and then he was with Lionel Richie's main guitar player for 20 years. So and from Syracuse originally. So
Very cool.
So tell us, every interview always goes the same, wanting to know a little bit about your history. Jeff and I have done a little homework, but we like to hear it from your mouth. And tell us, how did you get into doing the rock stuff rather than just being a classical violinist?
Well, the first time I remember doing something similar to what I ended up doing for a career I was 13 years old, and my dad had like a documentary about Woodstock, the original Woodstock, and I remember watching it, getting really into the music, and I watched Jimi Hendrix play the Star Spangled Banner, and so I was like, I have to do that. And so I had purchased this like really cheap, I was a kid, electric violin on eBay, and I plugged it into my dad's Marshall amplifier. He was like a guitar tinkerer, not a pro player, but just played for fun. And I worked out like some of these effects that Jimi Hendrix used. And when my parents came home from work, I was like, look what I can do. And they were like, and that was the end of the plans for me to become a doctor. So.
Oh, okay.
So was your dad a doctor?
No, my dad is actually a police officer. He's now retired, Niagara County Sheriff's Department. So also a fireman during his time. So he spent his life doing the good hard work, the good deeds. And I spend mine tinkering with strings.
There you go.
There you go.
Jeff's retired.
Yeah, I'm a retired volunteer firefighter as well.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Yeah. My daughter's boyfriend's a fireman, so we have to.
After 35 years, I decided I was done beating myself up.
It's very difficult work, and I remember the scanner going off in the house at all over hours of the day or night, and he'd have to race out of bed and leave, and that was a memorable sound from my childhood.
Yeah.
Lots of things are ruined in your childhood, trust me.
Yeah, right. We never get an alarm going off to do a podcast, so
that's weird.
Yeah. So you started jamming out with the electric stuff, and then have you always been a fan of the genres of music that you're doing, or do you follow just about everything? Or
I'd say that my playlist is pretty diverse. I'm a classically trained player, so if I let it go on random, it'll go from Mahler symphonies to Led Zeppelin to Tupac.
Right.
A little bit of everything probably, but I would say my main favorite kind of music tends to be either classic rock or prog rock kind of groups from that era. That's my favorite type of music.
Mm-hmm. The violin that you use, that is, I forget the gentleman's name who has that, kind of looks like there's a separate arm holding it up.
It's a Mark Wood Viper.
Mark Wood,
the one that you're referring to,
yes.
And he was performed with the Trans-Siberian Orchestra, and he actually invented that style of violin, and it's a fretted instrument that I play as well. So whenever I need to do very specific guitar techniques on the violin, I use that one. Sometimes I play a Yamaha fretless, and sometimes I play the Mark Wood fretted Viper. It just depends on what kind of music I'm playing.
And we had reached out to Mark because I like what he's doing with a lot of the schools around, and he's going in and
right.
getting them together. And he had said it's funny because he had said he would be interested. He had just gotten back from out of the country or something. But I've got to reach back out to him because that's just well, first of all, it's got more strings on it than a typical violin, right?
Right. Yes. I have a 6-string and a 7-string.
Oh, wow.
Actually, hang on one second.
Okay.
Nice.
Oh, wow.
So there you go. This is my custom-made 7-string Viper.
Wow.
So it has the top strings E, A, D, G, the same as a violin. Then there's a low F string and a low B flat string.
Wow.
So I actually have range lower than a guitar on this violin. My other one is a 6-string, so,
Is that
a regular violin has 4 strings.
Right.
It's a lot of strings.
So is your 6-string, is that tuned like standard? Like
it's tuned like a violin in fifths with just the lower strings going down to C and F. So it's not tuned like a guitar, but a lot of the solos that I cover, I tune the lowest string from an F down to an E because then I have the full range of a guitar if I can hit the low E.
Okay.
Right.
So everything I do, I'm tuning them differently pretty much just depending on what song I'm covering.
Right.
That's cool.
So do you have a tech that does that for you?
Yeah, I wish there was a such thing as a violin tech.
Okay.
I could imagine there's like 2 people in the entire world that would know how to deal with that instrument. Like most people don't even know what it's called. So.
Right.
Yeah.
No, I change my strings and I tune it up and I adjust the bridge so the frets are in tune. And
good.
when I'm lucky, I with this instrument, I managed to actually go to Mark Wood's shop in Long Island and have the violin makers help make adjustments on occasion for it.
Okay.
But it's a very specific,
Yeah.
kind of thing that very few people can even help with.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, I know. Locally, one of our local musicians, she uses one of Mark's. Obviously, it wasn't custom, but when I introduced her to the Femmes of Rock stuff, and she was just like, "Hey, that's Mark Wood. That's what I use."
Use the same violin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So she was pretty psyched about that. We tried to get her to come out, and I think she's playing at the gig. Turning Stone.
Okay.
The night of your show, but she's like, if I could be there, I'm going to be there. So she was hell bent on meeting you guys.
Yes.
Because she's big fan, and she follows the same type of thing. Different genres, bringing more light to that instrument than has been in the past or should have been given.
Yeah, it'd be great to hear her play sometime. But the instrument is great because it frees up your whole head and neck. You don't have to hold the instrument like this. So for me, I use the talk box when I do this Peter Frampton segment in the show. And I couldn't do it on a violin where I have to, be like that. So it frees my head up completely to be able to do that, or to sing or talk to the audience or anything like that.
That's cool. See, it's such a great show, and I can't stress it enough for people that are listening from Syracuse, Rochester, Buffalo, anywhere around here.
Yeah.
Get to Sharky's that night. It's going to be
fantastic.
Yeah, it really is. Yeah, I'm.
You get to see two local people.
Yeah.
Do their thing on a big stage.
Buffalo and Syracuse.
Well,
no, actually more than just
3. Actually, 4. 4 people are local.
You got Canada.
I'm from Buffalo.
Yep.
Our bass player is from Buffalo.
Okay.
Jeff is from Syracuse, obviously, and one of our other violinists is from the Rochester area.
Yeah.
So,
oh, no kidding.
Yeah.
That's even better.
We're all upstate / Western New Yorkers.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
I like it.
So how long have you had how long has the Femmes been around?
It's actually a funny story. So I started the Bella Strings group first, which is like the corporate version where I would write string quartet arrangements of rock music and pop music set to backing tracks. And we mostly only performed private corporate events in Las Vegas. One time someone was at one of our events and they actually ran a theater.
Mm-hmm.
And they were like, well, we want to bring you to our theater. Do you have like a show that we could sell tickets to? And I was like, well, sure. Yeah. And, so I booked the show and then I went and wrote the show. And that became the Femmes of Rock show.
Like a true business person and a true musician.
Yeah.
We could do that.
Oh, sure.
We had like a year lead time. So I was able to get a whole bunch of new arrangements and everything done and, get the band all up to speed, and we rehearsed, and it's just, it was one of those things, like it was left up to fate, and that's how it started.
So have you had all the same members all the time, or is that a rotating, depending on where you are and where you're going to be?
No, we probably have about maybe 15 string players on the cast, and we have maybe 8 to 10 band members on the cast. So depending on everyone's personal tour schedules, because we all have played with other artists or tour or record or do things like that. And, Jeff's in Blue Man Group. So depending on who's free and who's not free, it'll sometimes be a different cast. I try and be on as many Femmes of Rock shows as possible just because it's my show. But, most, unless I have something else going on, I'm on most of the shows, but it'll rotate a little bit.
Right. One of the girls plays with Aerosmith.
Yes, Sarah, our cellist, when Aerosmith had their residency here in Vegas, she was the cellist in the residency. So that was a pretty cool gig.
Yeah,
I'd say.
They're going back out on tour right now, aren't they?
They are.
Yeah, I think they're...
Opening night was, 2 nights ago in Philly.
I didn't get a call. They didn't call me.
No, and I was hoping to play with the Black Crowes, but they didn't call me either.
Yeah,
so
okay.
I guess I'm good.
Yeah, well, anyways.
Yeah.
So you've got the Femmes going around. What's some of your dates coming up around here besides Syracuse, or is it, do you have many?
Well, September's fairly busy for us. We are going to Green Bay September 14th, and we are going to be a featured string player group in a show called the Symphonic Rock Show. It's my husband Brody, who helped me set up all the audio here.
Yeah.
He's actually a really amazing pro singer, and he has a show that's based on classic rock with a symphony orchestra. And so the Femmes, the girls from my show, were the section leaders for the orchestra on that show, and we will also be opening the show, doing a segment, so kind of commingling both things. But it's going to be a very cool show in Green Bay. After that, we come back to Vegas. We do 2 shows in Vegas, and then we go to Syracuse and then Philadelphia from Syracuse. And then after that, I think we're done with the East Coast for a while, and we're up to Lodi, California. So.
Oh, wow. Okay.
That's pretty. Now, I have heard your husband sing, and he does crush it.
Yeah, he's got a real chameleon voice. He could sing Zeppelin. He can sing Rush. He can sing Queen,
Even better.
Yeah.
Just about anything.
Yeah, it's good that you're both working in the same. Does it conflict every now and then?
Well, with childcare, yeah, it's like, all right, well, we both got shows on the same day. Well, who's staying home?
Right.
If we can't find childcare, but luckily,
which one's paying more?
Right.
Yeah, exactly. But most of the time, we're able to work it out, and it's nice because he'll guest with my show and I'll guest with his show. So we have our own separate projects, but we still get to sit in and do fun things with each other. And he does a lot of the production for my show. He's really skilled with programming lights, programming lasers, creating backing tracks, and the way that the whole show works behind the scenes. So sometimes he'll mix front of house audio for us as well as sing with us.
So is he going to be with you in Syracuse?
Yeah, he will be with us in Syracuse and Philadelphia for that run. So cool. I'm sure you'll get to hear him
get up there and
belt something out.
Yeah,
nice.
At least some Zeppelin, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, I like I said, I keep saying it, but the show, it just blew me away because I never saw anything remotely as well put together as that. I've seen artists that bring somebody on to play a stringed instrument, but not like that.
No.
It's you got to go see it. Have you ever thought of having that filmed and put on a pay-per-view or one of the?
Yes, actually, we thought about maybe doing like a PBS special or a DVD. It's very difficult because in order to perform a lot of the cover music that we do, it's covered through the venue's entertainment tax that we're allowed to play cover music. Right, but when you go to release it on DVD, there's a whole nother set of legal issues of securing copyright and things like that. So until we have a full show of our own original material, it's not really making financial sense to try and put out a DVD or something like that, or a special where we charge people, on television to do. Right.
So you did do a remake of the Good, the Bad, and the Uglies. So I kept saying to Jeff, we've got to see if she'll let us use that as our music sometime, because that's, that would be kind of cool.
Yeah.
Well, sure. And that was, it was really fun making that arrangement. If anyone wants to check the Femmes of Rock YouTube channel, you can see the music video for that. During COVID, we actually had a fan commission us. They're like, look, we'll pay for the music video and the arrangement, but I really want to see you guys femify, something that has to do with that theme. And so I wrote the string arrangement, and Brody helped with the backing track, and he also filmed the video and edited it for us. And we were able to get out of the house for like the first time during COVID, and luckily we live in a desert, so it wasn't hard to find the setting for the video.
Right.
So it was a lot of fun to make that, and we do it in our live show a lot of the times. Yeah,
well, the first time I heard it, I think was right before you did a live show, and I was like, I want to record this with the phone, but I'm just going to watch. I didn't want to.
Right.
My daughter's one of those, fireworks. She's taping it or taking pictures, and she misses the whole effect of the show. And I said, you know what, don't record anything, just watch.
It's really like at any concert. I mean, I have some people go, well, did you get a video? No, because I'm watching it.
Right.
I don't want to watch it through my phone. I want to watch, I want to watch them on stage.
But that was a pretty cool rendition. So immediately I said to Jeff, dude, you got to hear this. We've got to try to put it on the show every now and then, because it's exactly where we came up with the name, The Good, the Band, and the Ugly.
Yeah.
So,
Well, Jeff steals the show in the video. There's one scene where it's like a slow-mo cymbal hit and the dirt from the cymbal just like it was the coolest scene in the whole video, and it's his scene. So
don't tell him that.
Yeah.
Don't tell him that.
Never. In fact, I'm surprised he hasn't checked in yet or something, knowing she's here.
Usually he pops in and just like, hey.
He was here like 2 hours ago. We filmed a news segment for some more promo for the show, and he actually did that interview with me, but it was a couple hours ago. He brought all his, homemade juices and stuff with him.
Oh.
So wait, so it's 4 o'clock.
So
he's in rehearsal.
Yeah.
He's in Blue Man rehearsal, or he's got a Blue Man show, one of the two.
One of the two.
Yeah, he's something Blue Man right now.
Yeah, usually if we catch him off guard, he'll FaceTime back with the makeup on, and I'm like,
yeah,
oh, stop scaring me like that, dude.
Right.
So, yeah. So, I gotta ask.
Here we go.
You've been doing this a while. You've played for all kinds of people. I don't know if you've ever watched our show, but we ask all kinds of questions to everybody. But
Jeff, look at her. She's like, I think
did
like
Jeff
warned her. Or
I want to
something.
know
Look,
the most.
No, Jeff didn't.
Oh,
Jeff
didn't?
didn't tell me anything.
Okay,
I want to
good.
know the most embarrassing moment you've ever had on stage, where something just didn't go right.
Well, I could tell you an embarrassing moment for myself and an embarrassing moment for someone else in the band I played in. Both different situations. So
okay.
My
Perfect.
situation, I was Toni Braxton's solo violinist for a couple years in her band, and she had a residency in Las Vegas, and there was a segment during the show where she wanted me to play like a variation on the Godfather theme. So I created a little kind of solo a cappella thing. In the show, I had to get to the top of this kind of winding staircase, and then one solo spotlight would come on. I'd play my little ditty, and then they would turn the light off, and I'd have to get down the staircase and get to my spot on the stage again in the dark during the show every night. So I did this, a million times. And one night, I just couldn't see anything. I tripped, and I'm playing my good violin, like the one from 1752. So all I cared about was saving the violin. So the bottom step in the dark, I trip, I hold my violin up in the air, and I face plant on the stage with the violin like this. The violin was fine. I had a bit of a bruised face, but I finished the show. No one knew it even happened because it happened in the dark before the lights came on the stage. So that happened to me, but a funnier situation, my first job was playing in Wayne Newton's band, and there was one performer who had, women have to wear like these things we call chicken cutlets in your bra. They help like to keep everything neat and tidy when you're wearing a dress. Yeah. And this one woman bent over, I think, to change a page or something, and the cutlet kind of fell out of her dress and flopped across the stage during the show. It wasn't me, but it was funny.
No, she lopsided.
I'm glad I had the face plant and not that.
Right.
Pick one, I'll take the face plant again.
Yeah, bloody nose over
missing
cutlet any day.
Right.
Yeah.
I've never heard them referred to the chicken cutlet.
Never heard of it.
It's woman language. We call them chicken cutlets.
So I'm going to say this. Anybody who knows what that was, please send us a message so we just know, and then we'll hook you up with a shirt.
Yeah, why not?
It says, "I never lost a chicken cutlet from the good, the cutlet, and the ugly." I think we're gonna have to bring her some. Never mind.
Nah. Nope.
Show up at Sharky's. We're
gonna
bring
them
a
to
bucket
the
of
show.
chicken.
Throw them instead of throwing tomatoes. You're gonna throw chicken cutlets at us.
We're gonna throw them and see if it'll stick to the wall like those things when you're kids and it just kind of crawls down.
Yeah.
No.
That's what we need to do.
Your questions.
I do, but
it's always.
However,
I know you've got a bunch of questions.
I do, but
he's the color guy. He's the guy that has all the facts, and I'm just here for my striking good looks and my witty charm and humor.
He's not the eye candy.
No,
anyway,
I got a bucket of it behind me.
Behind me?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah. Nose candy.
I was doing a little bit of research, and I noticed that, did you play with Deep Purple, or did you write like an arrangement for them?
I played with Deep Purple. They did a tour, I can't remember how long ago, a few years back, and they had like an orchestra with them, orchestral arrangements where we had a small string section. So I helped put together the string section, and I got to sit right on stage with them And that was
Awesome.
like one of those surreal moments. I was like, I can't believe I'm on stage with Deep Purple because I'm a big classic rock fan. So for me, those are the gigs that are super cool when I get to do something like. It was also the loudest show I ever played in my life. It was, I think my ears rang for a week after that gig.
Wow.
See, I love when hard rock throws in the orchestral piece. When Metallica did it, I was just like blown away and became like my favorite. But you hear so many people doing it now that it's just so cool. And I guess that's why I'm really taken by your show, because I've always liked to see a different version of something. I grew up with concert band, jazz band as a drummer, and then only till later in life when I didn't want to carry gear anymore did I become a singer. So, and I carried gear less than anyone. I did very well at that.
Yeah, you were top in your field.
Yeah. Like Jason Charles Miller says, I didn't do shit. Yeah.
Now you also play with Cheap Trick then.
Yes, a few different times. I performed with them first when they had their residency in Las Vegas doing the Sgt. Pepper album. A few times I played with them on that show. And then a few years after that, we ended up on the same bill as them opening for Cheap Trick and Bag Company at the Resch Center in Green Bay. So we did, I think, an hour-long set. Then Cheap Trick did a set, and then Bad Company did a set. Yeah. And the guys remembered me from the show in Vegas. Like, they actually remembered who I was. I was surprised. But and then they asked, if we would join them for Dream Police during their set. So we finished our set, and I ended up going back to the hotel room the first night we got there when we first talked to the Rick. Yeah. And I went to my room and stayed up half the night, and I wrote a string quartet arrangement for Dream Police because, of course, again, I just say yes and then I figure it out. So, and then the girls came over. We rehearsed it a few times through. Everyone's awesome musicians, so we memorized it quickly. And then we got on stage and we played Dream Police with Cheap Trick. That video's on YouTube and Facebook and stuff. Okay. Very cool moment. Super cool guys. Very cool.
Now, I meant to ask about the Deep Purple thing. Did you meet any of those guys or no?
Oh, yeah. There's a photo floating around somewhere of me having a beer with them after the show and the rest of the band in the dressing room.
Yeah, even better.
So, any extensive tour with any of them? Or were you were out for a week, 6 weeks at a time? Or?
I was fairly lucky to be based in Las Vegas, so all of my extended stints with other bands have tended to be in Las Vegas. I have done tours. I've never gone out for like 6 months at a time, 3 months at a time. I never wanted to leave my own projects for that long, so anytime I had an opportunity to do something like that, I would kind of like cap it at, all right, I'll deal with a few weeks, but I can't do a few months. It's just not. Right. I always didn't want to lose focus on my own projects, and things like that. So,
well, I think a lot of those musicians, as soon as it happens, next thing you know, it's 10 years have passed.
Well, that's the thing. Like, and when the tour's over, then it's just done. So then you're like vying for another job in another person's band, where I kind of wanted to be in charge of my own income and my own life and build my own show. So as much as I enjoy collaborating with, major artists, I kind of made a conscious decision that I was going to turn down some of those gigs and focus on my own show. And I did. And so I don't really get too many calls anymore per se to do those types of gigs because, once you take yourself out of that circle. Yeah. But honestly, I really enjoy creating my own music now, and I'm working on a lot of different projects that I want to work on. It's not just music that I'm being told to play. So
right. I think I noticed on your email signature, it's just you've built a little fiefdom out of what you do, and you're really not only are you doing the private stuff, but you're doing the corporate shows still and everything, and you have different versions of yourselves. Whether you're in a full cocktail or a big full gown and you're playing classical, or you're doing all different versions of the girls. So
right. So the top tier of what we do is the Femmes of Rock show. It's a touring ticketed production show. That's the top end of what we do. It's got the multimedia video and everything else. I also started a corporate group called Bella Electric Strings. And that's kind of like, we do mostly private events. I don't perform in it anymore. I mean, very rarely. Sometimes a client will be like, well, I'll only book them if Nina performs, and then I'll go play the show.
Right.
But I don't really play in the group anymore. I just manage it, book it, and write all the music for it. So, but it could be anything from a solo violinist to a trio with tracks to a quartet with tracks, or 6 girls to tracks. We kind of mold it specifically for corporate events. So, that's like the bread and butter gig that there's always corporate events in Las Vegas, always.
Right.
And we travel quite a bit with that group as well, doing private events. But whenever someone wants to hear a public ticketed show, that's what the Femmes of Rock show is. And, I've been toying with the idea of doing a solo show at some point, which I'm sure I'll still call Jeff for. But,
Well,
so we'll see.
You just have to stand in line behind, 75 different bands that he's in. That's how
I know.
We said count 77 was because that was the 77th band that he was in for that period.
That's funny.
God.
Yeah, he's busy, that's for sure.
But you know what? I will say this. I'm not going to blow smoke anywhere for Jeff, but he's one of the nicest guys I've ever met in this industry, and has stayed that way no matter who he's played for, no matter who he's rubbed elbows with. And he was the first to help us, get some of the different artists on the show, which has been opening doors like crazy for us.
Yeah.
And we don't stick strictly to one type of music or one type of, even just music. We have comedy, we have just actors and actresses, and producers and stuff that we have scheduled for the show. But and a lot of the doors were open from Jeff. I mean, you wouldn't be here today if it wasn't for Jeff.
He's super, super nice guy. And, from his promo photos, he actually looks quite menacing in some of them. So, like, without knowing him personally, you'd be, like, a little intimidated. And then you meet him, and he's, like, this soft-spoken guy, and he's got, like, his juices and his oat milk and stuff. And he's just, know, he's Jeff.
Yeah, I didn't think he ate junk food.
I didn't either.
But then we did send him
we did send him a pizza.
We sent him a gift card for pizza because I didn't want to get the wrong thing, because it's probably tree bark and fake cheese.
Fake cheese.
But so we sent that to him, just kind of out of a joke that when he had Stoney on, I said, "Oh, for all this you're doing, we should just send you a pizza." And he's like, "I like pizza." I was like, "Okay."
All right,
so I found out the one place that he goes, I guess, in Vegas, that he likes some brick oven pizza, which is nothing compared to what we're used to up here.
Well, we're used to real pizza where we're from, for sure. But
and wings.
I like how she said that.
And wings.
Yeah, and wings.
Yeah. I mean, you guys started it, so.
Well, they eat with ranch here, so I can't even.
Oh, geez.
Yeah, it's like wearing your shoe on the wrong feet.
My daughter would fit right in out there.
Oh God,
everything has to have ranch on it.
No, you know what? They can't be breaded. Just it's the traditional Anchor Bar way.
It is.
They should be orange. No other color but orange.
That's right.
Why is the wing not orange? I don't understand.
Right. I mean, yes. Have I dabbled and gone to the dark side with a little garlic parm every now and then? Yes.
Sure you have. However.
Hey.
Yeah, after a heavy night of drinking, sometimes the garlic parm is okay, but for the most part, they should be orange and they should be served with blue cheese.
Yes. They should sting any paper cuts you have on your hands when you're eating them. They should be like, why am I doing this? Yeah. See? We've gone right to food.
Blue cheese. God.
See, these are my people. You understand.
Yes.
Yeah,
See?
We get it.
See, I had a podcast before during COVID for 2 years that's all we talked about was like restaurants and food and this and that. And
yeah, you did.
It got to the point where we would argue. My partner and I would argue about just like something as dumb as that. No, ranch is better than blue. No, traditional.
Right.
It's like no. Anyways,
no.
We digress.
Let's get out of food. I also noticed, Nina, that you played with the Trans-Siberian Orchestra.
I did. I did a few shows with them when they came through Las Vegas. I mostly remember the really extensive production in the show. It's quite a spectacle to see. And I also remember how long it was.
Okay.
And my biggest memory is of like needing to pee during the show. And it was super long. And I'm like, oh my God, I think I've been here 2 hours. How much longer do I have to sit here before I can go pee?
Right.
And that, unfortunately, that was my biggest memory other than the production of the show.
Did that help create the show that you put together?
needing to pee and
No.
capping our show at 90 minutes.
No, see, I should have known before I asked that because
Good job.
I mean, I'm going to tell you what did I compliment her on earlier?
You did.
Her responses to some of the And see, we could say what we want on this show. So some of the shit talk that comes out of some of your fans, and I know you don't have to say anything because this is me saying it, but I read these and I don't respond to hardly anything, but I think I sent you a message that said I absolutely love some of the responses that you come up with because there's no holes barred.
No.
It's awesome.
Right.
It's like
some people just need it. They need it. Like, I know that I should just move on, delete the comment like everyone else does, make it look like everyone loves me. No. But you know what? Everyone doesn't love me. Some people are complete idiots, and some people just like they'll come on my videos just to make fun of my makeup. Like, why? But the fun thing is to toy with them a little bit. All I have to do is leave one comment, and then the rest of my fans will pile on.
Oh, yeah. It's just like, it's like a fumble. It's like a fumble. You're like, look, a fumble. Boom.
Yep.
But I'm going to say, I can't even say the phrase because I don't want to. It takes me 25 minutes to get into these pants. Do you think these would be good for or something? You know exactly what.
So basically, I'm allowed to speak on this show,
yeah,
right?
Go ahead.
You could say whatever you want on the show.
Yep.
So it was a photo of me in a gig outfit, which is basically like leather pants and a rocker shirt. Nothing crazy, really.
Right.
Nowhere near the amount of nakedness of David Lee Roth, even. So,
or any of the people on the New York or on the Las Vegas Strip walking around.
Exactly. It was just a rock outfit, and some guys like, I wish you wouldn't. I like you better when you don't dress like a hooker or something like that. And so I left a comment. I was like, I'm sorry, sir, but hookers don't dress like this. It takes way too long to get in and out of these pants.
What was the one with the straw up the ass?
Oh, yeah. So I recently, Brody and I did a cover of Limelight, the Rush song Limelight. And I did Alex Lifeson's solo on the electric violin. Spent a lot of time trying to get it right. So we take pride in what we do. We don't put shit out there for people to listen to. And some guy comes on and he's like, well, it's more impressive when played on a guitar. And so I left a comment. I think I said something like, well, it'd be even more impressive if you played it on a straw sticking out of your ass, but we didn't have to post about that either. So
I love it.
Those two comments right there, I said, and I told Jeff as soon as I read them, I go like, dude, I'm bringing it up. I don't care. I'm bringing it up. Those were the best comments anybody's ever just come out and said.
Yeah.
And no, you don't have to have everybody like you. And you also, you don't have to have every guest on.
Correct.
And, we were told by a pretty well-known artist that he wanted us to like redo the whole way we do our show to accommodate him being on. And it sent us this like list of requests. And it's like, one, dude, we only reached out to you because we vaguely remember you. And
I would show this, but I better not.
Which one?
I was going to pick it up.
Oh, the list. Oh, it's a diatribe. It's almost like a writer. It's like
he needed only the brown M&Ms.
Yeah,
right.
And he wanted the brown M&Ms. Yet he's diabetic. I mean, it's that point where he wants us to mention all the great stuff he's doing now, which is nothing.
Right.
And not to talk about the past, which was still kind of nothing.
He had more.
He says
from 1985 to 1987. That was about it.
He had one or two good hits.
Yeah.
I'm not going to mention.
Nope.
Ron Keel's name. I'm not going to mention that name because that would be wrong.
It's her fucking neighbor.
Is it your neighbor?
No, I'm just kidding.
No, he doesn't live out there.
No, she has no idea what you just said.
She knows who Ron Keel is. I mean, I'm not going to say his name, but yeah.
Anyway,
he pissed me off that whole thing. He says, I don't usually take a chance on podcasts with less than 30,000.
No.
60,000.
No.
More than that.
You had to have 100. You had to have 1,000 subscribers.
1,000 subscribers and 100,000 likes or something like that. I was like, dude, I looked at your page. You have 232 likes, and you're telling me I need 100,000.
No, 1,000 viewers or subscribers.
Yeah. Oh, goodness.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a lot easier than that. I'm just happy, like, if we can manage to get the PA system on our right. Like, we have speakers to play through? Okay, great, awesome. Thank you.
Or a big video monitor that can actually help with some of the aesthetics
that's
of the
thing.
show.
It's like depending on how much they provide, it's how good the show is. You want the production, you could provide the production. You don't want the production, okay, we'll be a fun bar band for a night. So
there you go.
I hope they're giving you what you want.
Yes.
In Syracuse.
They've been pretty cool advancing the show. So I'm not sure about the video screen because I know it's an outdoor venue and sometimes that doesn't work out just because it's outdoors. But they've been cool with the gear and everything else. A lot better than some of the venues we play. It's like we need something that costs like $200 to rent. You know, it's not a big deal. But sometimes you get like local people who are like, well, why do you need to use that piece of gear? Because that's how we run our show. Well, I used to be on tour with Fleetwood Mac, and I know okay. Well, when was the last time you mixed an all-violin band? Tell me that.
Right.
So,
when was the last time Fleetwood Mac was on tour?
Yeah. Well, exactly.
Just saying.
That's not who. What's his name drummed for? No, that was Hart.
Kevin Dean?
Kevin Dean.
Yeah, Hart.
That was Hart. That's right. And that's Pete Maluzzi was the tour manager on that show.
Correct.
Another member of our show.
I don't know why I have to.
Because I have the memory. It was a lot of bad things that happened to me in the 80s.
Listen, same here, but I still remember stuff.
Yeah, well, not like mine.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you can't find something, let us know. I know the guy who's doing the back line for you, and Jeff knows.
You got a guy.
I got a guy. How you doing?
Yeah,
about for the thing. If you need maybe two of those things, maybe tree.
Maybe tree.
Two tree. Jeff knows someone that's got the screen too. Radio Floyd uses it all the time, and that's another member of one of Jeff's 77 bands.
Yeah.
So just tell him to call me. If you're not getting it. So
if you can't get it, we'll make it happen.
Yeah. So
well, we are looking forward to the show. Jeff, I know, is excited to come back again. Anytime he gets a paid trip home is a good trip home. So
yeah, well,
yeah, but he's coming back again in like October, right?
He is coming back to play with. You know, I keep telling all you guys that if you get a chance, you really should fly out, make it a Buffalo trip, and then swing over to Syracuse. You got to see that disco band. They really are. They really put on a hell of a show. If you get that chance.
If you get a chance.
I said that to Stoney. He was like, what am I going to do in Syracuse? I'm like,
hang out with us.
Come on. We'll go to the Dinosaur.
Yeah, hang out with us.
Yeah.
So the one thing I do want to ask you, though, is...
Surreal.
It is very real.
Surreal.
That, too.
Yeah.
You've been doing this quite a while, and played with a number of people. So who is like the one person that you've met that you went, holy shit, I'm actually standing in front of...
You can't say Blue Oyster... Or you can't say... what do you call it? Deep Purple. Can't say them. You already said that.
Well, there were a couple moments where usually I'm not very fazed by it. Like, all right, well,
okay,
whatever. But there were a couple moments where I kind of geeked out a little bit behind the scenes, like low-key geeked out about it. And one moment was, I believe we were playing a television special for a birthday party for Muhammad Ali in Vegas that was televised, I think, on network television before he passed away. Mm-hmm. And, of course, I'm hired to be a backing musician, a violinist for a bunch of different artists, and we didn't really know who the artists are all going to be. When we get to these things, they'll put music in front of us. The music director for the event will have like a rehearsal, and then we'll get on stage and we'll play the show. So we're rehearsing, and, we don't even know who we're playing, but we're reading the charts, and then all of a sudden we're reading through one of the charts. I'm like, this is superstition. And I was like, no, it can't be. It can't be. Sure enough, the show starts, and then I'm sitting on stage, like, playing violin while Stevie Wonder is at the piano. And I'm like, what is happening right now? That was, like, just kind of a crazy moment where I was like, man, I can't even believe I'm sitting on stage with him at the same time.
That's
that
awesome.
moment sticks out to me for sure.
Okay.
Also, my group had a chance to do a mini performance in the middle of a David Foster and Friends show in Las Vegas. And I played quite a few shows with David Foster, through the years. And there was a chance for us to do some filler time in between this TV special they were filming. So, they asked if my group, the Bella Strings, wanted to play a few songs. And I remember I had to use the live band and I say live band, which includes like J.R. Robinson and like the best musicians in the world.
Sure.
So again, I go home and I stay up and I write rhythm section charts. And then I go to the rehearsal and I stick rhythm section charts in front of the best musicians in the world, including David Foster, who like puts his glasses on and sits at the piano and like, and so like that happened. And the backing band, like my heroes, they're all session players who are the greatest. I grew up listening to these people play, and it was a really amazing moment just for that, not so much like the fame element of it, but just the level of musicianship that I got to perform with in that band was really amazing. But probably the Stevie Wonder moment was a big
that's cool
moment for me.
Yeah,
you didn't
cool.
look at Dave Foster and be like, you're doing it wrong. I wanted it like this. Strata.
Well, I definitely didn't want to do anything wrong. It was not an option.
Yeah, unfortunately, Stevie Wonder didn't know she was there.
Well,
that was a bad joke.
It really was.
Didn't see it coming? Blinded by it?
That's it.
Sorry.
I'm out.
They don't get any better.
They really don't.
What else?
God.
We got to have something else. We've touched upon the fan.
Well,
wait.
What?
You know what she didn't say was one of her surreal moments, but didn't you play for the president?
A few of them, I think. Yeah.
So a couple of them she probably didn't care for then. How about that? She's from Buffalo.
She is.
So,
let's see. Let me try and remember. I played with the Killers, who are from Las Vegas.
Yep.
And it was for President Obama. He was there. So we had to go through like special security clearance and everything like that. And, it was a small, I think me, cellist, and a pianist, we put together like a really small ensemble to play with the Killers for President Obama. I actually got to take a picture with him after the performance. And so we go to like the little after party thing. And, I get to go up and have a picture with the president, and I don't care, no matter what your politics are,
it's the president.
You get to play with the president of the United States of America.
Right.
So I go up there and I was like, I'm the violinist that was in the group on stage. He's like, I remember. I was like, oh, okay.
I had taller shoes on then.
and so then I got a picture with him, and it was pretty cool. Like I said, regardless of everything being crazy with politics, it was very cool to play for a sitting U.S. president.
Right.
So
yeah, I remember years ago I had the chance I was at the Great New York State Fair, and Bill Clinton came through with that woman he's married to, and I got to shake his hand. And the Secret Service are like, don't make any sudden movements. Just keep your hands out of your pockets. And if he comes by and he shakes your hand, then shake it. If he doesn't, don't be like, hey, dude, you forgot me. Bullet in the head. So, yeah, he shook my hand. And hey, dude, sup? Tell Monica I said hello. Wow. So, yeah, I shook his hand. It was pretty cool. But like you said, it doesn't matter who that's because I was brought up to still respect that job he's doing, no matter who it is. So that was pretty cool.
Yeah, I think like just the lack of fighting, like so much fighting. Like I have vague memories of those days from my childhood where nobody seemed to be fighting all the time, and now everyone's fighting all the time. It's so tiresome. I'm a millennial, so like we're just like, why are all these old people they fight? They can't talk things out. I don't get it.
I'm a millennial. Why are these old people fighting?
Chibu's mad.
Well, you know what I mean? Like the people in politics, there's not term limits on anything, so a lot of them tend to be dinosaurs. Everyone's just around for a really long time, and we're always like
50-year-olds, damn old 50-year-old dinosaurs.
I'm talking about like the 85-year-old dinosaurs.
There, see?
Yeah.
There's some of them.
Dodge that bullet.
And alive.
You know what? We never knew, and I'm not going to turn this into a politics show because
don't.
But I don't think I knew anybody's politics when I grew up. Nobody talked about it. It was like,
no,
you don't talk about politics. You don't talk about religion. And you really don't badmouth the Yankees. That was just about it.
Well, yeah, that especially. But I was raised on the golden rule: you treat everyone the way you want to be treated, and if everybody does that, it doesn't matter what you believe in or what you think on a certain issue or topic or what religion you are. None of that matters. You just be nice to people. That's it.
That's right. Yeah, that's right. And if everybody thought more about that, then I think
except that guy that needed the straw
up his ass.
Yeah.
Yes.
Other than him, you're nice to everybody.
or hooker pants.
Yeah, that hooker pants guy. He can.
Yeah,
I want. You know what we want to see? We want to see the hooker pants guy wearing hooker pants. That's what we want to see. That we want to see him try to get into those pants. He's probably not wearing any, sitting at home. Just being
Some people
tell
me I should start an Instagram page just for my burns, like for when I burn someone on their comment.
Oh, there you go.
On my post. So maybe someday I'll have like a little page dedicated
Write a book
just to that. Yeah.
Just call it Nina DiGregorio. Don't piss me off. That's the name. I trademark. I want 10 cents a copy, but that should be the book right there. What do you think?
So, that's great.
Yeah.
So I also noticed too that you play bass as well.
Yeah, I try to play bass.
Oh,
yes.
you try? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, not as like I studied violin for decades, but for bass, I'm self-taught and I enjoy challenging myself with it.
You have a bachelor's degree, right?
I have a master's degree in classical violin.
I'm sorry, master's.
Yeah.
Apparently didn't read that Wikipedia page very well.
Wasn't on there.
He's kind of a stalker.
It's okay.
Easy.
She's got a big dog and a big husband.
That's okay. He wears a Triumph shirt. We can get along.
That's just true. You got to respect that.
I know.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
You know what else I'm respecting right now?
What?
Is her family room there.
Uh-huh.
What other significant other of a musician would dig that? But when you're both musicians, every room's a studio. This is like, that's what you want.
Nina, you said you're...
Yeah, this is our recording studio. So our loft upstairs, and we film our videos kind of back the other way towards where all the instruments are.
Sure.
But yeah, it's full of instruments and microphones and cables and recording gear and lots of stuff that I have to tell the kids not to touch.
And you've got 2 kids now?
Yeah, 2 little kids.
And do you want them to do music as well?
No. Well,
no.
If they, I want them to do what they love to do, but right now my daughter is she's a toddler and she plays pretend doctor all the time. I'm like, that's good. That's good. Be a doctor.
Yeah. Somebody's
don't do what mom and dad are doing.
Somebody's got to take care of us retired.
All day long, nonstop. So I fear that she's got the bug already, though. So
it's almost destiny because you have 2 musicians and their grandfather is a guitar tinkerer.
Yes, that's right.
So
yeah. Now, was your mom a musician or no?
No, my mom is. She was before she retired an accounting person, so she's a numbers person. She played piano just casually, took lessons as a kid, but again, no professional musicians in my family other than myself. And but I remember my mom telling me stories about, we had a piano in the home growing up, and from the time I was maybe 2 years old, I would climb up there and start picking out melodies on the piano, and I was asking for lessons fairly young, and so piano was actually my first instrument. I started lessons at 6 years old on piano.
Do you still play or tinker with it at least?
We have a piano here, and I practice every now and then. I'll pull out, some Bach or some Beethoven or Mozart sonatas and practice again. But man, it's something that if classical music, if you're not keeping up on it, you're not keeping up on it.
Right.
So much changes.
It does. It really does.
Well, you spend one day not practicing and you suck. That's the classical music world. Like it's.
You're right.
That's why it stuck around so long. People always practiced it forever.
Right.
Yeah. So do your parents come out and see you out there, or do they have to wait till you come out here?
Oh no. I got something in front of your screen there. They come out and visit quite a bit. They also help with the kids, when we're doing tour dates and things like that. And I try and make it back there as much as possible to see my whole family in the Western New York area. Mm-hmm. Holidays, summertime, things like that. Obviously the summers are much, much nicer there than they are in Las Vegas. So
I think the cool fact that, you did mention you're a millennial, which is, like my daughter's age. And I think, have your parents been, they've got to been like fanned out themselves sometimes, seeing some of the people you're playing with and having the opportunity that were like, Nina just got us to meet this guy, or Nina's playing with Deep Purple. This is freaking cool.
I mean, my parents listen to a lot of the bands that I've performed with or have done things with, and I've gotten them to shows where they've met. Richard Marx, I played with him a few times, and my mom got to sit side stage for a Cheap Trick show, and my dad, a big Chicago fan, and so when I played with Peter Cetera, that was like a big moment. Cool. For him. It was actually kind of a geek moment for me too, because If You Leave Me Now is such a beautiful song, and I know the string arrangement from the album, and then to sit there on stage and play it while he sings it, it was like a kind of one of those moments too. It was great.
That's cool.
I watched my cousin's in the radio business, and he brings my uncle to like any of the big stuff that he does, and he's Roger Waters, stuff like that. He's like, oh, I got to meet. And then when he interviewed Ringo, and my uncle was a huge Beatles fan, and he got to meet Ringo, and he's like, this is the son that brought me to meet Ringo. And now the other sons are like, yeah, he's a dick. So, they had their fanboy moments, I think, vicariously.
Do you have siblings?
Speaking of Ringo, my daughter is obsessed with him. She's 3 years old. She's got pictures of Ringo in her bedroom. Yellow Submarine is her favorite song. She watches videos of him singing. So I have to get her to a Ringo show. One of these days I'll get her to a Ringo show. I don't know why. It's her favorite Beatle, her favorite. She loves Ringo.
That's cool.
Do you have siblings, Nina?
I don't. I'm an only child.
Okay.
Yeah, that's why she got to have piano lessons at 6. Yeah. If they are older children, she'd be like, yeah, no. You just use those old books and you learn from what your sister learned. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
all the highlighted parts.
Yeah. All the wrong answers.
Yep.
Kept failing tests because my siblings were stupid. Yeah. Anyways, Nina, we want to thank you.
Yep.
We promised not to go over an hour, even though you never said it, but we tell that to everybody. So we thank you so much for being on the show. Can't wait for you to be here on September 22nd.
Yes.
At Sharkey's Event Center in Liverpool, New York. Tickets are on sale now. If you want to get in free, you have to reach out to Jeff Tatora. Send me an email. I will give you his home phone number and email address. You have to claim you know him somehow.
Yes.
For the most creative answer, send us an email, and we'll see what we can
do.
See if we can get you in Jeff's dressing room. Anyways.
You can carry his sticks.
Yeah. Anyways, yeah. So yes, again, we look forward to you being here. Can't wait to hear all of you. And anytime you have anything coming up that you want to plug, you want us to reach out, just shoot me an email.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for having me on in the chat. And hopefully we'll see you in a few weeks.
Yes, definitely. And maybe we'll have to get your husband on here one day and tell us about his.
Oh yeah, he's got a bunch of his own stories and
that'd be
different
great.
Experiences than me, and he's you'll enjoy that chat as well. You can do Triumph the Insult Dog voices the whole time.
Oh no!
There you go.
Oh no!
Yes, you definitely have to.
You just woke the sleeping giant, Nina. Thanks.
Yes, any type of insult, anything, I perked right up. Yes, let him know that we would love to have him on the show.
Okay.
And
and also now since you're part of the family,
Good to Man the Ugly family.
Yeah, we gotta get you. We gotta get you matching Jeff Tatora T-shirt.
His favorite, apparently.
Yeah.
His favorite.
That shirt walks itself to shows.
I think it does.
In fact, one of the girls from your show, when I walked up and I met you guys, she said, "You're the Big Papa." And I said, "Excuse me?" She said, "You're the name on the back of Jeff's favorite T-shirt, or on the front of Jeff's favorite T-shirt." And I was like, "Dude," and of course he was wearing it. And I was like, "Dude, that thing needs to be washed." He's like, "Yeah, I think it's walking itself to the show."
It's funny. We all have our favorite tour gear that we just comes with us every show.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? If our shirt is his favorite shirt,
then
I'm going to send him 3 more.
Yep. So
just for his sake and everybody around him.
We played a show at Hard Rock Tulsa once, and we remember that show as being the best steak we ever ate. The steakhouse there was amazing, and we all got the shirt that said "The Joint" at Hard Rock Tulsa.
Yeah.
And it's always like, okay, which one of the band members is going to wear it this time? Because whenever we're on the plane, someone's got their Hard Rock Tulsa shirt on. It's like the running joke with us.
See, we're going to have to just get them all, the good, the bad, and the ugly shirts.
So send Mike your size. Don't say it on the air.
Okay.
Yeah. She's a 6X.
No.
That's small at best.
I know. I'm thinking small. But anyway.
How tall are you?
5'2".
See? See? That doesn't look like with those shoes. She's got them big shoes.
I know.
Yeah.
Speaking
I
of which,
look a lot taller on stage. I get that a lot. You look a lot taller on stage.
Yeah, well, the stage
tell that to the bottom of my boot.
Yeah, right?
With that straw up your ass.
With that, yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, I did see that promo that you put out for Sharkies.
Oh, yes. Yes.
And that was very cool.
I didn't see it.
She was doing a solo to my favorite song.
Which one was it? I can't remember.
Enter Sandman.
Oh, you hate that. Yeah. Oh, he hates it. Every time we played that song. Jeff and I have been in bands for the last 10 years.
Yeah.
And every time I put that on the set list, he would just...
Well, it reminds me of Mariano Rivera, though. I mean, the best closer in the history of baseball.
Yeah.
So
it's the best closing song.
Do you close with that then? Is that what you're saying?
No. Well, you know what? I never thought of that. No, we end our show the same way every single time, and it never gets old. People love it, and if you haven't seen it, you'll see it.
Yeah.
I've seen it, and it's awesome.
You've seen it.
Yeah. Awesome.
I'll see it.
Yeah. I'm telling you. You're going to love the show. For those people that listen, that don't show up at that show,
it's your own fault.
Don't listen anymore.
It's your own fault.
You're not taking our advice. You're dead to us. Stick a straw up your ass.
Right. Nina, thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Nina. And remember, go Giants. And
go Bills.
There you go. Thanks so much. And we will talk to you soon.
Thanks again. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Take it easy. All right, Jeff.
Yeah.
There it is. There's the show.
There it is.
That was a good show. I will say this. I did spend some time at the fair.
Yeah.
Our next episode, I am going to be reviewing some of the stuff we've seen.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to be reviewing some of the highlights.
And the lowlights.
Lowlights.
How many? Does the highlight outweigh the lowlight?
The highlights outweighed the lowlights.
Okay.
REO Speedwagon, highlight.
Okay.
How do I put this? Quiet Riot.
Lowlight.
Not really high. Rudy Sarzo.
Yeah.
Highlight.
Okay.
Yeah. That's it.
Oh, okay.
No Sha Na Na this year.
Listen, Bowser's got to be about 90 by now.
Put cigarettes in his armpit,
right
up his sleeve,
and they just fall right out.
Chicken cutlet falls out of his left sleeve. That's a men's chicken cutlet. See, there you go. We didn't even think of that right there. So, anyways, that's what we're going to talk a little bit next time. Even though it's going to be a week from now,
that's okay.
We have some great things coming up. But first, we want to thank our sponsors.
We haven't thanked them in quite a while.
The great and unbelievable Auk Medical Supply.
Yep.
Who is actually going to be setting us up with a second studio.
Yes.
So that we will be able to have some of our
guests with us.
Guests come into the studio because this studio is as big as your TV.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's.
I mean, Mike and I are so pushed against this wall, you wouldn't believe. Not a lot of room here.
They can kind of tell.
Shut up.
Look, our egos are touching. Special thanks to our sponsor, Sharky's Event Center in Liverpool, New York. Yeah. If you don't stop out to Sharky's, you're not cool.
Yeah.
And you're not as cool as Jim, the owner. How's that?
Correct.
Just ask him. DJ Life's a son of a beach. He is the hardest working karaoke DJ, wedding DJ, and all around good frickin' guy.
Yep.
Hardest working guy in this area.
Yeah.
We have obviously our great friends over at the Good Nature Brewing Company. Just can't say enough about them.
Fantastic pseudo owner.
In fact, if someone's lasted this long to the podcast, which up until as soon as Nina's camera went off, everybody's
she's gone. Forget it.
So if you have listened this far, I want you to send us an email at goodbandugly@gmail.com. goodbandugly@gmail.com. We will get you a gift certificate to
the
Good Nature Brewery. So send us that email. We want to see who listens.
Yeah.
And who doesn't.
If
it's a family member, you don't get shit.
Nope. You can forget it.
We can't give you that.
No.
That includes your family.
Yeah, no kidding.
Because they're like, I love the food there. No,
I don't
that's what
care.
your father's here for. He
That's
pays. Right. Print Shop Underground, thank you so much.
Yeah,
Mr. Nick over at the Print Shop Underground does our posters, did a couple other posters, does all of our shirts. It gives us a discount on that. Doesn't do them for free, though. Strange.
Weird.
We're going to have to work that into next year.
Very weird.
We want to thank Snarky Productions for always being oh so snarky. And Toffee Break Toffee for also being oh so
toffee-ish.
Oh so sweet.
Oh, so sweet.
Yes, never sticks in your teeth. And to our new sponsor, Sennheiser microphones. Thank you so much for sponsoring the show. $35 at a time with one T-shirt. So thank you so much.
Great.
You get one mention, maybe two. Because we know they're not listening. So Sennheiser, thank you so much. And I think that's a wrap. That's gonna wrap our show.
That is a wrap.
That's it. Let's throw some music.
We're gonna throw some music on.
Yeah.
There's J-Ro.
Yeah, J-Ro.
Gotta thank J-Ro for this music.
Second hardest working musician in Syracuse outside
who's the first?
Just Joe, Bill Ali, and then J-Ro.
That makes three. So he would be third.
He's third out of tied.
Tied.
Tie is Bill and Joe.
Joe.
Good Band and the Ugly, Big Papa.
I'm Jeff.
Thanks for sticking around. We appreciate you. And
thanks, Nina, for being here. And go see the Femmes of Rock
later.
September 22nd.
Peace.
Peace.
Recording stopped.
Not yet.
Recording stopped.